All right, hey everybody, welcome. So glad you could make it. It's me, and if you're anything like me, you've spent, roughly a metric ton of time on video calls lately. Zoom, Teams, Meet, you name it, we've lived it. And you start to see these patterns, right? Let's call them Zoom personas. The person who's always muted, the one with the crazy backgrounds, the one whose cat becomes an accidental co-star. It's a whole new world of workplace quirks, but here's a thought, and this is where it gets good. What if those little idiosyncrasies, the things that maybe make us chuckle or even occasionally roll our eyes, are actually windows into some pretty incredible hidden strengths? What if the person you think is just being quiet is actually a super processor of information? Or the one who can't stop their dog from barking is a master of authenticity? It's like we've all been enrolled in this unintentional social experiment, and the results are fascinating. So today we're going on a little expedition. We're going to decode some of these classic Zoom personas and uncover the amazing, often uncelebrated talents they bring to the table. Think of it as an episode of Some Good News, but instead of heartwarming animal videos, though we love those, we're celebrating the unsung heroes of our virtual meetings. Because, spoiler alert, there's a lot of awesome hiding in plain sight, even if that sight is a slightly pixelated video feed. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about the thoughtful ghost. You know who I'm talking about. Camera off, maybe a static profile picture if you're lucky. They rarely pipe up during the actual meeting, and when they do, it's usually a very quiet, very brief comment. It's easy to think, they're just not engaged, or maybe they're multitasking and secretly watching cat videos. And hey, sometimes that might be true, we're all human. But hold on a second before we jump to conclusions, because there's often something much deeper going on here. This person, our thoughtful ghost, might just be an incredible deep thinker, a true master of reflection. These are the folks who are absorbing everything, processing it quietly, and letting ideas marinate. Research, like Susan Cain's incredible work on introversion, tells us that many introverts process information more thoroughly and often prefer to gather their thoughts before speaking. Or even better, communicate them in writing. So, while they might not be the loudest voice in the room or the Zoom, they're often the ones who come back later with incredibly well-articulated insights, solutions, or perspectives that can totally change the game. They're not disengaged, they're just operating on a different, more internal timeline. To truly tap into their brilliance, try following up after the meeting. Send a quick message, invite them to share their thoughts via email or a shared doc. You'll likely be blown away by the clarity and depth they bring once they've had that crucial time to ponder. All right, next up we have the creative teleporter. This is the colleague who beams in from a different fantastical location every single meeting. One day it's the majestic Golden Gate Bridge, the next they're chilling in a serene jungle temple, and by Friday, who knows, maybe they're broadcasting live from the surface of Mars. It's a whirlwind tour of virtual backdrops, and while it might seem like just a bit of fun, or perhaps a cleverly disguised messy room, no judgment, this is a huge clue. This person is very likely a bubbling cauldron of creativity and openness. Traits that researchers like McRae and Costa have linked directly to divergent thinking and serious innovation. That ever-changing background isn't just a playful distraction, it's a visual manifestation of a mind that's constantly exploring, designing, and imagining new possibilities. They're not just a picture of a beach, they're mentally that beach, probably brainstorming how to make your next ad campaign feel like a tropical vacation. These are your idea people, your visual thinkers. So how do you harness this superpower? Easy. Loop them into any branding conversations, get them involved in brainstorming sessions for new projects, or ask for their input on visual storytelling. Their environment reflects their thinking, and their vibrant, imaginative thinking might just spark your team's next big, brilliant idea. Don't just admire the view, tap into the visionary behind it. Okay, now for a persona we can relate to either as the perpetrator or the audience. The accidental showstopper. This is the champion of the unmuted mic. We've heard it all, haven't we? The surprisingly passionate off-key singing, the detailed coffee order for a venti half-soy no-foam latte, the dog who has very strong opinions about the mailman, all broadcast live mid-sentence during a serious presentation. It can be a little jarring, maybe even a tad disruptive, but before we hit that collective groan, let's pause and appreciate what's really happening here. This isn't just a technical oopsie, it's a powerful signal of something incredibly valuable. Raw authenticity, genuine warmth, and an unfiltered human presence. Think about it. In a world of carefully curated online personas, these moments are refreshingly real. They remind us that we're all just people navigating our beautifully messy lives, even during work hours. Research by Romero and Krutherds actually shows that humor and lightheartedness, especially intense or just plain boring meetings, are directly linked to increased team trust and morale. These accidental showstoppers, without even trying, are creating little pockets of emotional safety. They're lowering defenses, making us chuckle, and reminding us not to take ourselves too seriously. So, what's the play here? Put these individuals at the heart of your team's culture-building efforts. They have this incredible natural ability to bring people together and make the virtual workplace feel a little more human. A little more like, well, us. Chapter 4. The real-life cameo star, master of adaptability. Next on our list is the real-life cameo star. You know the scene? Mid-presentation, a tiny toddler head pops into the frame, wide-eyed and curious. Or perhaps a cat decides that the keyboard is the warmest, most perfect napping spot right now. For these colleagues, remote work isn't just a job, it's a full-contact sport. A beautiful, chaotic ballet of professional life and home life colliding in real time. And here's the amazing part. Instead of getting flustered or endlessly apologizing, they handle it with incredible composure, kindness, and somehow remain fully present in the conversation. That's not just being professional, that's adaptability under pressure, and it's a serious superpower. This ability to stay steady, focused, and effective amidst the delightful chaos of home life is a hallmark of resilience and high emotional intelligence. Studies on workplace adaptability, like those by Polakos and her colleagues, highlight this very capacity as a key indicator of someone who can thrive when things get unpredictable, which, let's be honest, is pretty much all the time these days. These are your calm in the storm people. So how can you leverage this incredible strength? Think about putting them in high-stakes, people-facing situations. They're fantastic for client meetings where unexpected questions might arise, or for navigating tricky internal discussions, even for crisis management. Their calm isn't just for show, it's genuinely contagious and can help keep everyone grounded. Chapter 5, the quiet tech hero, master of smooth operations. All right, let's shine a spotlight on a true unsung champion, the quiet tech hero. This is the person who, with saint-like patience, gently utters those 5 magic words. Bob, you're on mute. Again. They're the unofficial, often unthanked tech support of every meeting. They're the first to notice when someone's video freezes, the one who subtly chimes in when a colleague forgets to share their screen during a critical presentation, and the polite reminder about that rogue microphone picking up the sound of a lawnmower next door. It's easy to overlook these small interventions, but they are absolute gold. This consistent, helpful behavior isn't just about being tech-savvy. It often stems from a deep well of attentiveness, remarkable patience, and a genuinely prosocial mindset. All qualities that, as researchers like Grant and Mayer have shown, significantly strengthen team cohesion and create a more supportive environment. They're not looking for applause, they're just quietly ensuring everything runs as smoothly as possible for everyone. So how do we celebrate and utilize these heroes? Consider asking them to help onboard new team members, getting them familiar with the digital tools, or have them pilot test new software before a wider rollout. Their subtle, steady presence keeps the digital gears turning, and they rarely ask for a shred of credit, which makes them all the more awesome. Chapter 6. The Keyboard Comet Master of Momentum. Now listen closely. Can you hear that? Clickety-clackety, clickety-clack. That, my friends, is the sound of the keyboard comet in action. This is the colleague whose typing is a near-constant soundtrack to your meetings. You're never quite sure if they're meticulously taking down every single word, simultaneously managing 3 other critical projects, or perhaps writing the next great novel. But one thing is absolutely certain. These individuals thrive under pressure and are your high-output, high-speed players. They are all about getting things done and done fast. While multitasking sometimes gets a bad rap, and for good reason in many contexts, certain cognitive profiles are actually incredibly well suited to rapidly switching between tasks. as studies by Rubinstein and others have explored. For these keyboard comets, that constant motion, that flurry of activity actually equals momentum. They're not easily overwhelmed. In fact, they often perform best when the pace is quick and the demands are high. So how do you best channel this incredible energy? Point them towards fast-paced environments where their speed and efficiency can truly shine. Think logistics, rapid content creation, project operations, or anything with a tight deadline. Just whatever you do, try not to trap them in long, drawn-out meetings with no clear action items. Let them fly. Chapter 7. The Digital Stage Manager. Master of tech, forward thinking last, but certainly not least. Let's give a round of applause for the Digital Stage Manager. This is the person who seems to have an encyclopedic knowledge of every video conferencing shortcut, every new feature, every platform update, often before the official announcement even drops. They can manage breakout rooms with the finesse of a seasoned Broadway director, launch interactive polls mid-meeting without missing a beat, and have probably, just for fun, given themselves a virtual halo or a pair of cool sunglasses using some obscure filter you didn't even know existed. These aren't just users of technology, they are true tech-forward thinkers. These individuals are your classic early adopters, the very people who, as research from folks like Spitz Owner highlights, drive digital transformation within organizations. They're not just comfortable with the tools. They're excited by them, constantly exploring their potential and already thinking about what's next on the digital horizon. They see technology not as a hurdle, but as a powerful enabler. So, the best way to leverage their incredible foresight and enthusiasm, make them your official ambassadors for tech innovation. Get them involved in pilot testing new platforms or tools. Empower them to become internal trainers, sharing their knowledge and helping upskill the rest of the team. They'll help your entire organization stay agile, adaptive, and ahead of the curve in this ever-changing, wonderfully digital world. The awesome power of you, yes, you. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of some familiar Zoom personas, but hopefully with a brand new appreciation for the incredible, often hidden strengths they represent. From the quiet reflectors to the creative visionaries, from the authentically human to the unflappably adaptable, every single person brings something unique and valuable to our virtual tables. It's a powerful reminder that beneath the surface-level quirks and video call habits, there's a whole universe of talent just waiting to be recognized and celebrated. And hey, maybe you saw a little bit of yourself in one of these descriptions, or perhaps a lot of your amazing colleagues. The big takeaway here is that diversity in working styles, in communication preferences, in how we show up, even on a tiny screen, is actually a massive asset. It's what makes teams dynamic, resilient, and ultimately more successful. So the next time you're in a meeting, take a moment to look beyond the default assumptions. Who's the thoughtful ghost sharing wisdom after the call? Who's the creative teleporter sparking new ideas with their background? Because at the end of the day, understanding and appreciating these different strengths isn't just good for morale, it's good for collaboration, it's good for innovation, and it's just good. Let's champion these hidden talents, let's build on them, and let's keep finding the good in every interaction, virtual or otherwise. Thanks so much for tuning in, for being part of this. And remember, there's a lot of awesome out there and a lot of awesome in you. Keep being brilliant.